The cheese renaissance, if you will, in America and particularly Northern California happened late 70s, early 80s. It was, or at least that was the beginning of it. That happened from part of the slow food movement. You know, those wonderful hippies, gotta love them. It was all about returning to the earth and seeing where your food came from. And cheese, as traditionally, is one of the oldest man-made foods around. It's been, they started making cheese the same time they started domesticating animals. We're talking cavemen here. It's part of the human diet for as long as we can remember. You can find like fossil artifacts of cheese presses, you know, dating to stupid BC. Like it's kind of crazy. But for California, it was the late 70s, early 80s, and that was Mary Keene from Cypress Grove. She was one of the forefronts. She bought a plot of land in Northern California, Arcata area, and she got some goats from her neighbors and started making cheese with her daughters because she wanted them to see where their food came from. And then, sure enough, it was so good, they started selling it at farmers markets. And then she went on a cheese trip to France, came back from that trip, had a dream about making Humboldt Fog, and she's like, that's the cheese I need to make. Came home, started making it, and 25, 30 years later, Humboldt Fog is the household name it is today. So she was really, really important. The cowgirls in Northern California, Peg and Sue, they have done amazing things. They both had varied histories in the culinary world, and I think it was the 90s, late 80s, 90s, they decided to walk away because one had a cafe and one was a chef, and they walked away from those prospective businesses and started making cheese. Their cowgirls, what we know today, Mount Tam, Red Hawk, you know, their seasonals, Wagon Wheel, from Strauss Creamery, which is like right across the road from them. Organic milk, so they do all organic products, and they've had a wonderful relationship with that farm and that creamery, and they've just grown exponentially since then. So they've done so much to make California a destination for cheese. Actually, like ash. Easy? It's not blue.
Okay.
It's Humboldt Fog is a beautiful. It's a goat brie that, in its signature recognition, is that layer of ash in the center of it, and it's vegetable ash. So it's just lightly dusted on the outside. And the reason you use vegetable ash in cheese making is because it actually drops the pH level of the cheese, which enables the good growth of bacteria a little bit slower, so you develop more flavor. They spray the outside with Penicillium candidum, which is the bacteria used to make brie, and that, you know, the white mushroomy molds on the outside that just are like little delicate pillows. You want to like touch it, leave a fingerprint kind of thing, but you don't, because you don't want to ruin it. That cheese is just, it's such a mild and beautiful representation of what Northern California